Morning Edition. Around the world, worshipers, including those at Paris's famed Notre Dame, gather for special mass services to honor the man known as the People's Pope.
Plus, cleaning up the last frontier. Today is Earth Day, and volunteers are showing their love for the planet one trail at a time.
And later, turning trash into a teachable moment, how one unique little litter cleanup crew is inspiring a cleaner and greener planet as the Morning Edition starts now. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on a Tuesday, Earth Day.
Yeah, today is the day to show a little extra love to Mother Earth.
That's right. Mother Earth and Mother Nature kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, we are waking up to some additional light rain showers across South Central this morning. Much like we did see yesterday, it's more in the way of a drizzle to some light sprinkle activity for inland locations, while the better chance for some rain continues to remain out towards coastal regions. Now, we are once again expecting temperatures today to warm back into the mid to upper 40s. Yesterday, we did hit 49 degrees in Anchorage, so we have a decent shot this week, really through the rest of this week, where we're going to see those temperatures making a run into the lower 50s. We could see some breezy conditions to start off the morning, but overall, what we are dealing with is that light rain that has moved back in yesterday evening into the overnight. So we've got 20s out as you head out towards the Eureka, out towards Golcana, parts of the Copper River Basin. Elsewhere, where we're seeing those cloud coverage and rain showers, temperatures are holding in the 30s and the 40s. And again, we are going to see some of that heavier rainfall pushing through parts of Prince William Sound. This rain that's across western parts of South Central, that will stay with us through the morning. And much like we did see yesterday, we'll begin to see a drying trend taking hold throughout the afternoon hours with some possible peaks of sunshine. So inland locations will largely be shielded from most of the rain, both today as well as into tomorrow. Out west, we do have some pockets of some light snow and some rain embedded within that. So we're still holding on to some of this active weather across the state. Nothing significant, though, compared to what we did see last week. You can see temperatures today warming into the upper 40s. May see some locations making a run near 50 degrees, but of course those rain showers will prevent many areas from remaining on the warmer side. You can see out towards Prince William Sound, that's where we'll see that heavier activity, while areas out west continue to hold on to some of that light rain shower staying with us through the morning. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast coming up.
I think today people are talking about legacy. I know tomorrow the history books will certainly write about that.
In this morning's top story, even half a world away from the Vatican, the loss is deeply felt, and the death of Pope Francis has stirred sorrow in communities across Alaska.
Faithful and non-faithful alike are reflecting on a man remembered for his mercy, humility, and unwavering hope. As Joe Allgood reports, many are now looking ahead to the future of the church he helped shape.
We're completely on the other side of the globe from Rome, almost exactly 180 degrees.
Despite the distance, news of the passing of Pope Francis hit Catholics in Alaska hard.
When someone dies and there's a lot of hurt, it's usually a real good indicator of how much love is present, because love hurts, you know. It has its joys, but it also has its suffering too. And that's what I hope our people to do, and we pray, you know, for him.
For some, a slight surprise.
Well, I suppose I'm a little bit shocked, you know, but at the same time, I mean, he's a little bit old, so I mean, it's not too surprising, but, you know, he is a well-renowned figure, so it is, you know, it does have impact.
Impact felt around the world.
I think what was important to him and what really touched so many people is he lived the gospel of Jesus Christ. He lived it very well, emphasizing parts of that gospel that maybe haven't been as strongly emphasized recently.
Well, he has so much influence over people. I mean, he is the light for a lot. So, and it affects a lot of people, and you can feel that, you know. People are down, people are sad.
Reaching to the outskirts of society.
I think he really reached out greatly to the marginalized people, to those persons who are suffering from poverty, people who suffer a lot.
To say that he was a person of mercy is one of the biggest compliments we can give him.
All the way to the end.
He encouraged all of us, even in his last days, showing us his resiliency and also humility in the way that he lived the last days of his life, that he always had that great hope especially in these days after Easter
and beyond.
I'm sure he's in a better place. I think that he did a phenomenal job in his position, and I'm sure that the follow-up will, will definitely meet those same how would you say expectations.
Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Members of Alaska's congressional delegation and the governor also expressed their condolences for the loss of Pope Francis, and flags around the state are to be flown at half-staff until his burial.
The fact that he spoke up for immigrants, the fact that he came from another part of the world.
He sort of set the groundwork for a broader, more accepting and loving and welcoming church.
He was a good man. Loved the way he was with the poor.
I was away from the church for many, many years, and it was because of Pope Francis that I came back to embrace my faith.
New this morning, the Vatican announced that his funeral will be held Saturday, also releasing his cause of death as they begin the ancient rites honoring a pope who led with humility and modern vision. Meanwhile, cardinals around the globe are preparing for the conclave to choose his successor. Alice Barr has details from Washington.
As tributes pour in for the people's pope who led the Catholic Church toward a more progressive path.
Pope Francis had a way of getting the church to think outside the box.
Centuries-old traditions are underway. While the faithful mourn, cardinals are at the Vatican going through details of the funeral, their first meeting since Pope Francis's death at 88, caused, the Vatican says, by a stroke and heart failure. President Trump preparing to attend the funeral in the coming days.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world.
Though as dignitaries descend, Pope Francis is being remembered most for his devotion to the least among us.
He is the Pope of the poor, the Pope of the marginalized, underprivileged.
With a heart for children, Jocelyn Aquino met Pope Francis when she was just 12 years old, greeting him on his one and only visit to the U.S. back in 2015. The daughter of immigrants from El Salvador spoke in Spanish with the first pope from Latin America.
This is the leader of the Catholic Church. This is the most powerful man. And I was just like, wow, you spoke to me in my native language. Like, it was just amazing.
A leader who spoke to so many, even beyond the Catholic Church. He addressed Congress on that trip to Washington, never shying away from voicing his views, from ending the wars in Ukraine and Gaza to advocating for immigrants and moving toward acceptance for the LGBTQ community. Often at odds with traditionalists, he cemented his legacy as a reformer. As cardinals prepare for the conclave to elect his successor and decide the next direction for the Catholic Church. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
After the Pope is laid to rest, conclave, or the voting process to elect a new holy, we'll see begins. Vatican analysts say there's not a current frontrunner for the position. Pope Francis named more than 100 of the 135 cardinals who will gather to vote. That move to reshape the global church means the electors could be more likely to continue the path of reform, though there will be a traditionalist movement to course correct as well. And we have extended interviews from the Archbishop and Father Madison on our In-Depth Alaska podcast. You can find that on our streaming platforms or wherever you listen to podcasts.
New information about a crash that tore into a popular dumpling shop in downtown Anchorage. It happened early Sunday morning at the corner of 5th Avenue and K Street. Police now say a blue Dodge Ram slammed into the building and the driver took off.
We got reports of a blue Dodge Ram that ran into the restaurant. When our officers came on scene, the truck was unoccupied. The person who was driving it did flee the scene.
Officers are looking for a man between 25 and 30 years old, about 6'3", with an athletic build, last seen in a light jacket and blue jeans. They're also searching for a white Ford F-150 with front end damage that left the scene. One employee inside the restaurant suffered an eye injury, but police say it's non-life-threatening.
This could have been a lot worse, that's for sure. Yeah. There was no one in the store other than our guy that was working.
The owner of Pelmeni says he would open today if it were safe.
The frustration is growing among friends and family of Tony Kronos, the Eagle River man who's been missing since March 6th. They say communication from police has been scarce, leaving them with more questions than answers.
Yeah, we're all just left in the dark. We're just hanging missing poster signs.
Well, 2 weeks ago, police searched the home of Kronos' neighbor, APD officer Christopher Sternhagen. Investigators have not said whether he's connected to the case or why his duplex was searched. Last week, Sternhagen filed a protective order against one of Kronos' friends, accusing them of stalking. Then on Thursday, friends unveiled a large sign on the back of Kronos' house facing Sternhagen's duplex that reads, "Where's Tony?"
I don't want to leave this alone. I don't want to keep quiet about this. We want Tony home. And we are working and trying every single day to make that happen and get some answers.
Friends say they plan to offer a reward in the near future. They hope will bring both answers and information that can help solve the case.
Still ahead, trails, trash, and teamwork. On Earth Day in Alaska, it's not just about the hiking trails, it's about taking care of them. Well, you can join the cleanup crews and a look at the big mess they're hoping to clean up.
And later in Capitol coverage, Alaska dads take a stand after the governor's education funding veto, why they say students are losing out and they're fighting for the future.
More rain showers across south central as well as southeast, although this week provides a decent shot. We'll see temperatures warming into the 50s. I'll have more on that at 7-day forecast. But first, the sunrise, 6:15 in Anchorage, 7:05 in Bethel. Your full forecast is next.
Good morning, everyone. Back on your Tuesday. Spring has landed in the interior and the birds are back in town.
Migrating birds are flying back to Fairbanks with trumpeter swans, Canada geese, and other species touching down at Creamer's Field. The fields have been cleared by Fairbanks International Airport crews, and local Kiwanis members have spread barley to welcome the arrivals. Biologists Mark Ross says up to 100 species could still be on their way this spring, and that over the last 5 decades, their arrival patterns have shifted earlier in the season.
The Department of Fish and Game, we've kept records since 1975 of waterfowl arrival, and the trend is for earlier arrivals. In the mid-70s, the average date of arrival was about April 16th. Now the average date is up to about April 7th.
Some birds will stay and nest in the interior, while others use Fairbanks as kind of a brief stop on their journey further north and west. Ross says they're arriving from all over as far south as Oregon to as far east as Missouri. We know here in our parking lot, we got them seagulls.
We got the seagulls, but there's also some other good places around Anchorage for bird watching, Potter Marsh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say those seagulls, they're out and about. They were yelling quite loudly last night while I was trying to go to bed. We got those rain showers spreading back in across South Central. They have been building in through the overnight hours. You can see out towards Prince William Sound and then western parts of South Central. That's where we're holding on to that better shot for some rain to start off your Tuesday morning. Now, Anchorage, western parts of the Kenai into the valley, we're just really going to hold on to this potential for rain through at least the first part of the morning, and then we dry out as we welcome in the afternoon. Prince William Sound will likely hold on to the rain for a good portion of the day. Even out towards southeast, we're also going to continue to hold on to some periodic rainfall with heavier activity expected for the Panhandle as we welcome in your Wednesday. Of course, I'll break that down for southeast coming up in my next forecast. But for today, you can see that chance for some rain remains with us for the first part of the day. Temperatures will warm into the mid to upper 40s throughout the afternoon hours, and we could see some possible sunshine breaks throughout the day. Better chance for that sunshine will arrive into your Wednesday, but we will see that potential later this afternoon where we could see some of those clouds breaking. Now, for the month of April as a whole, really hasn't been any significant warmth. Now, we did start off the month with well above average temperatures, and since then, we've kind of been meandering back towards fairly seasonal conditions. Our average monthly temperature for the month is sitting at 37.7 degrees, which is about 2.2 degrees above average. And for today, we are going to see those temperatures warming into the 40s, if not some lower 50s. Average high for this time of year is right around 47 degrees. So we're going to continue to hold on to this fairly seasonal weather. And over the next couple of days, we could see those temperatures warming into the 50s. In fact, we're going to see some 50s through the interior today. today. 50 degrees in Yakutat, 7 in Utqiagvik, 33 in Kotzebue. Out west, we've got those temperatures in the upper 30s, so still seeing some cool conditions, but spring is quickly returning back across the state as we see these warmer conditions staying with us. You can see 45 degrees in Homer today, 43 in Kodiak. Those rain showers remaining with us through the remainder of today as well. And again, we could see some sunshine breaks throughout the afternoon hours. Through Prince William Sound, this is where we're going to hold on to that heavier activity for today. Even more widespread rain is expected to build in as we welcome in your Wednesday. And of course, tomorrow, that better chance for rain will stay confined to coastal regions, while inland areas will actually begin to dry out. And we'll see some sunshine making a return to the region. A chance for some 50s as you head into the valley today. You can see 49 in Talkeetna, 53 in Wasilla. Those overnight lows in the mid to upper 30s. So we're not talking about any significant chilly conditions, but we're still holding on to some of those cooler mornings. We've got 47 in Anchorage, 44 in Girdwood, and we'll likely see less than about 1/10 of an inch of rainfall for Anchorage, with some slightly higher amounts as you head along Turnagain Arm. The 7-day forecast showing there's those temperatures steadily warming throughout the rest of this week. We've got a stretch of some sunshine. We'll call it a mix of sun and clouds from tomorrow on to the close of this week. And you can see those daily highs warming into the upper 40s and lower 50s. Now, when we're up under this weather pattern, when we're dealing with this warmer trend as well as those sunnier skies, we can expect to see temperatures about 3 to 5 degrees warmer than forecast if we see any stretch of that sunshine sticking around for a bit longer. So don't be surprised if we see some mid-50s later this week.
All right, thanks, Aaron.
Alaska is home to more than half of America's national parkland, and on this Earth Day, locals are doing their part to protect it. Volunteers gathered at Thunderbird Falls Monday and are meeting today to help keep things green. Alaska State Parks and Alaska Trails teamed up to clean the popular path, now littered with trash and dog waste, a small effort in a state with some of the most pristine wilderness on Earth.
Earth Day in general is a great day just to remember to take care of our Earth and to clean up after yourself, especially in the parks. We've seen quite an increase in our park use since 2020, as many people have. So we just have a hard time with our staff, the staff that we have, keeping up with keeping everything clean and maintained.
There are cleanup events today at the Ship Creek Trail meeting in front of the Bridge restaurant. The cleanup event will continue at Thunderbird Falls in the Chugach State Park.
Cleanup supplies will be provided at the event. Volunteers are encouraged to wear gloves, long pants, boots, and gloves, plus bring sunscreen and snacks and water. Sap season is flowing in Fairbanks.
The birch trees are running, and so is the research. At One Tree, Alaska, the University of Alaska Fairbanks is leading a new study to compare flavor profiles from sap collected across the state. With the Forest Research Grant in hand, scientists are monitoring 150 birch trees in different locations to see how region, soil, and climate affect the taste of the syrup.
The work ties into a bigger project tracking natural events like Sap Up and Green Up, and now includes community data from as far south as Anchorage.
What it really is about is people becoming good stewards of the land. And the way you become a good steward is to try to emulate what organisms in the ecosystem are doing.
Daw says most people interested in participating in the program should begin tapping birch trees now or wait until this weekend for those folks living in lower elevations and high permafrost areas.
And fun fact, Alaska is home to 2 native species of birch, and birch syrup, it's often called the champagne of syrups for its rich, complex flavor.
You've been listening to the Alaska's News Source podcast. Subscribe to have the latest episodes delivered to your library automatically.